Hello friends, welcome to C Programming video tutorials series. From the past few video tutorials, we are trying to understand types of functions in C. In the previous video tutorial, we understood a function without parameters and without return value. We understood how to create a function which does not accept any parameters and does not return any value. We understood how to create a function which does not accept any parameters and does not return any value. In this video tutorial, I would like to discuss a function with parameters and without return value. We understand how to create a function which accepts parameters and does not return any value. We understand how to create a function which accepts parameters but does not return any value back. Let me go to code block. What I want to do, I want to create a function which should display square of the given integer value. I want to create a function, whenever I call it, it should display square of the given integer value. There are three steps we follow. The first step is declaring a function. What I do here, I say void. Void keyword indicates function does not return any value back. We want to create a function which does not return any value. That's the reason I am saying here void. Then we write the function name. I say here square. In pair of parentheses we pass list of parameters, right? Here I say int num. Square function accepts an integer number and displays the square of the given integer number, guys. Then I say semicolon. This is the prototype of the square function. Next we have to implement the square function. Implementing means defining the function. I write the prototype. Instead of semicolon we write opening flower bracket, closing flower bracket. Inside pair of flower brackets we write a set of instructions to be executed. Here I say printf. In double quotations I say %d \n comma. I say here num into num. Num into num indicates square, right? Whenever we call the square function with some integer value, what printf does? It displays the square of that given integer value. Here I am going to call the square function with the value 2. To the square function we should pass an integer number, so I am passing here 2. Then I say semicolon. What happens when we say build and run? Program execution begins at main function. Square function is called. Control jumps from here to here. 2 is copied to the num parameter and printf displays 2 into 2, 4, and \n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the square function, control comes back to the place where we have called the square function. Then it moves to the next statement. 0 is returned to the operating system. If I say build and run, you see that 4 is displayed. I hit enter to close the console window. We know that we can call a function n number of times. I call one more time. I say square. I pass 3 semicolon. What happens when this statement is executed, guys? Control jumps from here to here. 3 is copied to num and printf displays 3 into 3, 9. \n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the square function, control comes back to the place where we have called the square and then it moves to the next statement. Understanding? If I say build and run, definitely we will see 9 displayed. I hit enter to close the console window. That is how we create a function which accepts parameters and does not return any value back. I say here printf. In double quotations I say \n semicolon. I am adding one blank line, guys. Next what I want to create one more function which should display sum of two given integer values. It should display sum of two given integer values. This time I create a prototype saying void. The function name I say sum. It accepts two integer values. So I have to create two parameters, guys. I say here int num1. We use comma to separate parameters. I say int num2 semicolon. Next I am going to define this function. I come here, say void sum int num1 int num2. Instead of semicolon we use opening flower bracket, closing flower bracket. Here I say printf. In double quotations I say %d \n comma. It should display sum of num1 plus num2 semicolon, guys. I am going to call the sum function now. I say here sum. To the sum function I must pass two integer values, 2, 3 semicolon. What happens when this code is executed? Control jumps from here to here. 2 is stored in num1, 3 is stored in num2, 2 plus 3, 5 is displayed, /n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the sum function, control comes back to the place where we have called the sum with 2 and 3. If I say build and run, you see that 5 is displayed. I hit enter. Again I call the sum function with 3, 4, semicolon. What output we get, guys? We get 7, right? Control jumps from here to here. 3 is copied to num1, 4 is copied to num2, 3 plus 4, 7 is displayed, /n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the sum, control comes back to the place where we have called the sum with values 3 and 4, and then it moves to the next statement, right guys? If I say build and run, you see that it has displayed 7. I hit enter to close the console window. That is how we create a function which accepts parameters and does not return any value. A function with parameters and without return value, guys. Let me explain how this code is exactly executed using MS Paint. When we say build and run, we know that the program execution begins at main. What happens here? Main function is pushed on top of the stack and all local variables are allocated. Of course, we don't have any local variables inside the main function, guys. Control moves to the next statement. Square of 2 is called. Control jumps from here to here. When square function is called, of course, square function is pushed on top of the stack and memory locations are allocated for the local variables of the square function. We have only one variable, that is num. For num, 4 bytes of memory location is allocated. That's our num, guys. Inside num, 2 is stored. Inside num, 2 is stored. And then statements inside the body of the square function are executed. What printf does? It displays num into num. Num is 2, 2 into 2 is 4. Printf displays 4 in the console window and /n moves the cursor to the next line so that subsequent output displayed on the new fresh line, guys. Understanding? After executing all the statements in the body of the square function, control comes back to the place where we have called the square with the value 2. When control comes back, of course, the square function is taken out from the stack. The memory locations allocated for local variables are removed. Next, it moves to the next statement. Again, we are calling the square function. So control jumps to the square function. Again, square function is pushed on top of the stack, guys. Understanding? That's how the code works. For num, a memory location is allocated of size 4 bytes. That's num. Inside that num, 3 is stored this time. Inside the num, 3 is stored. And then statements inside the square function are executed. Printf displays num into num. This time num has 3. 3 into 3 is 9. 9 is displayed and /n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the square function, control goes back to the place where we have called the square function with the value 3, guys. When control comes back, of course, the square function is taken out from top of the stack. Then control moves forward, printf /n, it moves the cursor to the next line. We'll get here one blank line, guys, in the middle. Understanding? And then it executes the next statement, sum of 2, 3. This time, control jumps to the function which has the name sum, guys. What happens here? Sum function is pushed on top of the stack. Local variables are allocated num1 and num2. Computer allocates 2 memory locations, one for num1, one for num2, guys. One for num1, one for num2. Inside num1, it stores 2. Inside num1, it stores 2. Inside num2, it stores 3, guys. And then what happens? Statements inside the sum function are executed. What printf does? It displays num1 plus num2. 2 plus 3, it displays 5. And /n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the sum function, control goes back to the place where we have called the sum function with the value 2 and 3. When control comes back, of course, the sum function is taken out from top of the stack. Then control moves to the next statement. Again, we are calling the sum function. Control jumps to the function which has the name sum and accepts 2 parameters. When the function is called, it is pushed on top of the stack, guys. Sum function is pushed on top of the stack. Again, for local variables, memory locations are allocated. For num1, one memory location is allocated. For num2, one more memory location is allocated. That is num1, that is num2. Inside num1, this time 3 is stored. Inside num2, this time 4 is stored. And then the statements inside the sum function are executed. Num1 plus num2 is displayed. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 is displayed, and backward slash n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing all the statements in the body of the sum function, control comes back to the place where we have called the sum function with 3 and 4. When control comes back, of course, the sum is taken out from the top of the stack, guys. And then the next statement is executed. Return 0. 0 is sent to the operating system. Then the program execution ends. When the program execution ends, the main function is taken out from the stack, guys. So that is how functions are handled in the stack memory. I hope you guys have clearly understood. I suggest you people to watch this video again and again, understand everything clearly, try this code yourself, experiment with more examples. In the upcoming video tutorials, we are going to discuss more about functions. For more benefits and be up to date, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment and share this video with others so that everyone will get benefited. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.